So Funimation, who, by the way, bought Crunchyroll for like $1 billion not that long ago. I almost made a video on that, but I decided not to because a bunch of people already covered it. But in case you didn't know, they bought Crunchyroll, probably one of the bigger streaming services of anime, therefore moving one step closer to that anime Western monopoly that they seem to want so badly. Viz Media, I think that's probably what, their only real competitor, and I would say that it's only a matter of time till Funimation buys them too. With all that Sony money, it seems like they can. But one thing that they're well known for doing is milking physical releases, most notably of Dragon Ball, and screwing them up left and right. So, I mean, what? They recently put out those Blu-rays, which are pretty flawed because, well, they use heavy DNR, which I hate, take a lot of the grain out. Then they put fake grain on them, usually. Then they released that Ultimate Collector's Box, which was a huge ripoff and used a really bad master. I don't know why they just keep pumping out these bad products. I wish they just released the Dragon boxes again, but they won't do that. Then they released them again in steelbook form. I'm not going to get too heavy in it, but they make a lot of mistakes, and they don't seem to care because here's this Akira limited edition 4K Blu-ray, which I'd like to point out is like $40. It's pretty expensive for a movie to buy. You get a lot of stuff with it, yeah, but they know what they're doing. This is just like Dragon Ball. They're milking this release again, and they're releasing a 4K version, which doesn't even have HDR10, which is something that an animated movie would really benefit from. HDR, if you don't know what that is a pretty big benefit to a high-definition release. It makes colors stand out better. So a really good example of this would be, I saw somebody make this example on Twitter, and it was really good, so I'm just going to basically use it again. If you had a bunch of people sitting around a campfire, HDR would light up that fire really nicely, and then kind of keep the background nice and dark and not light that up at the same time. Its proper name is high dynamic range, and it's very nice. And animated movies, when they get it, actually benefit from it quite well. The Japanese release has HDR10, but for some reason, I don't know why, because they haven't explained why, they've left that out of this version. I guarantee you that it was a mistake. So they are fixing it, so I'll give them that. But for $40, it should have had the damn HDR on in the first place. And like I said before, the Japanese release has 4K HDR. Now the movie will look great in 4K without it, but it looked just as good on Blu-ray. The real benefit here is the HDR, and you're only getting standard dynamic range without it, and it's a really big mess up, and it just shows how this company has no quality control. They're lazy and they don't give a shit. And yes, they are offering a 4K HDR disc replacement. Here's this if you want to pause the screen and take this down if you bought this, because I would be willing to bet I've got 1 or 2 people that follow me that probably did buy this. And I would assume in February all the discs coming out will have the HDR version, but what a mess up. And it just really highlights the laziness of this company, the lack of quality control. How do you mess this up? How do you not notice the HDR isn't on the disc? It's just a joke at this point. And they really just go out of their way to mess with with the people that like physical releases. I love physical releases. We're not going to get these in the future. It's almost probably going to become kind of a collector's market. And this is something that collectors would want. You get a lot of stuff with this. Look at all the stuff you get. You know, you get books and all kinds of benefits and stuff to get this. And it's just lazy to me. So they are going to do a disc replacement, but how do you screw this up in the first place? Such a lazy, shitty company. And nothing's changed with them in 2 years. And it really pisses me off that, you know, why did people in Japan even need Funimation? Why can't they just release this stuff themselves over here? Funimation is a middleman. Do they really need a middleman? I can't stand this stuff. And Sony has such a crazy history with anime now. Look at how they handle PlayStation games. So What a mess this is. And like I said, Funimation, get your shit together, man. You charged $40 for this thing. The least you could have done was make sure that it had HDR on it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. Did you pick this up? If you didn't know about this, how do you feel that HDR isn't on there? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video so people can find out about all of this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.